welcome back to Sailing Kiriko. Just wanted to give you guys a quick recap and update on the Precision Sails saga. So, back in November, I had ordered a jib from Precision Sails, and just the whole process, the ball was dropped repeatedly. And I think the last update I gave, it was going to be delayed. They did end up, it was supposed to be delivered the end of March, but they ended up delivering it almost the end of April. And when I opened up the box and opened up the sail bag, one big issue was pretty apparent, and that was the fact that the sail cover, or the UV protection, the sunbrella, was the wrong color. So I called them. I was pretty upset, but you know, I kept my calm and called them, and they were pretty apologetic, and they said, you know, we're going to get this fixed, and they told me to go ahead and use the sail and make sure everything else was okay, and once they built me a new sail, I would just return the one that was incorrect. So after bringing the sail down to the boat, for some reason it was really difficult to hoist onto the furler, and I'm not really sure why. The luff tape they used and everything was fine. The only thing I can think of is the fact that it was, the way it was packed, it was folded up like an accordion, so the luff tape had these sharp angles like that as it was being unfolded, and may have been catching somewhere along the way on the foil. The foil on this furler is in sections, so there may be a section that was slightly off a little bit, so the grooves didn't line up. But strangely, I mean, the old jib had no problem going up and down. But either way, I don't think it's anything they did. But as soon as I hoisted it, one other issue became pretty apparent. One of the requests I had made when ordering the sail was to bring, and I apologize if I'm using the wrong terminology, the tack down, the place where the jib sheets attach, and on the sail that the boat came with originally, that was so high up in the air when the sail was unfurled that there was no way I could reach the leech line. I guess the one time I really talked to the designer way back in, was it January? They told me that the sail, that tack, was going to be 4.5 feet off the deck. This one, if I stood on my tiptoes and reached with my hand all the way up, I couldn't reach the bottom of the flap, and I'm 5'8"-ish. And also, one thing I found, which probably wasn't a big deal, but I asked them, since they had to kind of redesign it anyway, was to bring the back end of the sail. It went a little too far back, so the back of the sail was touching the forwardmost lower shrouds, and I'm hoping to eventually put tracks in so I can sheet the jib inboard. So I wanted to kind of get that away from the shroud a little bit, and so called them back after I got it hoisted, let them know. Everybody and their uncle from that company seemed to have called me to apologize profusely, which I do appreciate, including the owner called, the production manager called, the designer actually called, and we spent a lot of time talking. And one of the other things I asked was the logo that I had put on. It looked like it was slightly canted. So I asked them if they could maybe just try to rotate it a tiny bit to make it look a little more level, at least with the forestay. Not the forestay if you're looking at the boat from the side, but if you're standing behind the boat and the forestay is vertical. Got to use the sail, and otherwise, I mean, it seemed like it was pretty well built, everything else. So this past Friday, which this past weekend was Memorial Day, I get home from work, and sure enough, there's a big box, and they got a new sail designed, built, and delivered with the right umbrella, actually almost exactly a month, and which was sort of confused me a little bit. Like, why did this initial process takes so long, and then they were able to do this so quickly. Took it down to the boat, got the old one off, had some dock neighbors help me get the old one off the boat carefully, and you know, it came down the track really easily, so I don't understand what was going on with it going up. And got the new one on board. I did check this umbrella was the right color, so I was pretty happy about that. Got the new one on board. We started hoisting it, and we were using sail lube, or what's it called, sail coat this time, McLube sail coat, and it went up a lot easier this time. I had a bunch of help as well. The one thing I noticed was the logo. They put it on the wrong side. When initially I talked to them back in, again, I think it was January, they said if you're just going to have it on one side, put it on the side with the side that the sun cover's on, and I liked it like that. And so when I hoisted this up and looked up, the logo was on the wrong side, and because of it being on the opposite side of the sun cover, the placement looks awful. So I haven't called them yet or sent them an email about this. Honestly, at this point, I guess I just give up, or I'm just giving up on this, and you know, I don't think they're going to build me a whole new sail because of the logo. So what I may try to do is have someone make the logo for me as an adhesive sticker, you know, in insignia cloth or whatever. And then when I bring the sail home this winter, I'll place it on the other side and try to stagger it so they don't really bleed through each other. So yeah, but it just looks weird because it's now on the opposite side. It's pretty far forward, where if it was in that same location on the other side, it would have been nice and centered between the UV protection and the forestay. And yeah, so I mean, that's it. Interesting process. You know, I'm definitely in the market for a new main that's going to hopefully be ordered this winter, so I just need to find someone close to home, or closer to home. At least, well, there's no one near me where I live, but near the boat. Annapolis is only an hour away, so I already have a card from someone at Sailmaker, and I'm going to talk to them. They already kind of looked at the boat briefly, and what I had in mind cost-wise, they said I was pretty close to what they think it would be. Obviously, they haven't designed it and priced it out, but I'm definitely going to shop around. Nice thing is with this company that I was talking to, they are, again, they're based in Annapolis, but they will, they come out to the boat, they measure it, when the sail's finished, they come out and bend it on and make sure everything's right. So that's definitely worth, you know, even if it's couple percent more than some other places, it's worth to have someone do that, I believe. And yeah, so just wanted to give you guys an update. This has really been a struggle, and not a great experience on my end. I mean, the sail looks like it's pretty well made. We'll see how it holds up. Just annoyed about the logo and how weird it looks. It's sort of on its own and sort of a weird spot. I will get in touch with them. They actually, the box is there with the sail that I have to send back. They were supposed to send me a shipping label, which they haven't, so I have to reach out to them to have them send that to me so I can get that out of my living room. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If you like what we do here at Sailing Kiriko, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's SV Kiriko. And if you really like what we do, definitely become a sponsor, a patron at Patreon. And we are Sailing Kiriko on Patreon. So definitely would love it. Would love to get some sponsorship or patrons. And you know, again, I'm finding it difficult these days to try to get these videos out, but I am filming, and just finding the time to edit is the challenge. So anyway, thanks again. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully you stay safe out there.